Everyone, I hope you all fine, and I wish that the peace, blessings, and mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are showered upon all of us. Before starting this video, I need to tell you the basic reason that I'm doing something differently from what I usually do. Usually, you will see most of my videos to be in English language or Urdu language, the language that is spoken in my country, the national language of my country, Pakistan. And most of my content is about a particular exam series. However, over the past 6 to 7 years, I have taught a lot of students from around the globe. I have taught a lot of students from different universities, different communities, different institutions, and even different education systems. In these one-to-one educational ideas, in these one-to-one sessions, in these community sessions, in these group sessions, in these seminars, one thing that has come, one thing that arises commonly is a lot of common questions. There are many questions that are repeated. There are many questions that come across from most of the spectrums that I touch upon. And the idea just hit my mind that instead of trying to answer all those questions separately, why not we make a series where I answer that question in a universal language that anyone can understand, and most of my students can benefit for those questions. When I started about thinking about which subject I should begin with, I was honestly astonished by the number of questions, the number of queries, the number of confusions that were coming up from students who were studying economics. Now that startles me to a certain point because I have studied economics for a very long time. I have studied economics since I was almost 14 years old. I have taken a distinction in economics. Apart from that, my research paper is about to complete, and it's a very core economic theory that I'm working on. So for me, economics is just like my life. The fact that I teach almost 100 plus subjects is irrelevant here because those subjects are something I have done to help other people, or I have studied them to make a record, or I have studied them to hopefully help people in the future. But economics specifically is a subject that I study out of my own passion. I study it because I enjoy it. So when so many people are confused about the subject, it really hurts me to a point. But at the same time, I do realize that when we started studying economics, we faced the same scenario. I remember that in the start, many of us could not understand the basic concepts of economics. It was due to a few good teachers that we grasp those ideas. And one thing that I need to tell you before I start the content, honestly, it is irrelevant, or it doesn't matter which educational stream, which educational level, or where in education you are at the point. You are in college, you are in university, you are in high school, you are in middle school, you are in any single part of your education. Even if you are doing PhD, the fact that you need to know these basic ideas. These basic ideas don't change economics. These are the foundation upon which economics is built. If you are starting economics today, you need to know these ideas. If you have studied economics for 35 years and you don't know these ideas, you are constructing a building in a foundation that is going to flutter, that is going to fall. So the best way was, let's try something new. Let's make a series in the universal English language for students around the globe to study economics, to help them with economics, and make it a subject that they would like instead of the subject that they would scare off from. And with that concept, hopefully we will inshallah proceed with this subject, and I hope it will help you out. If you have any constructive criticism, do mention it so that I can help more students in a better way. People who are new to my channel, most of the videos here are in Urdu at the moment, but I will make separate series for both Urdu and English, and I hope it will help you out. So before starting, there are 3 different links that are given in the description of the video. The first link is of educateachange.com. It's free education section. All the notes and resources and quizzes and etc. that are available there, or that will be available there, are made by myself, and I hope that they will help you. So do visit the site and do use those resources, because all these material have been formulated after years of hard work, and I hopefully they will help you out in understanding basics of many subjects, or even cores of many subjects. Apart from that, there's another link in the description for LRTstudy.com. LRT is the name of my company. Study like it resonates. That is a completely free platform. It has a lot of material, notes, video lectures, different diagrams, different graphs, tables, timetables, how to attempt exams, how to attempt different types of examinations. All these things are available on that website, and it's for free. It will always remain for free. You can even become a contributor, not financial, but educational contributor on the site. So do visit that site once, and if you like it, do download the app. It's also free. The link is on the website. You can download it on any platform that you have: desktop, iOS, Android, whatsoever. Apart from that, if you like the video, share it, subscribe the channel, like the video, share the video, tell people who are giving economics about the video, and the series that will continue after this. Lastly, my Facebook groups link is in the description. Do join that group, please. It's a free group. We don't charge anything for that, and I answer a lot of queries there. It helps me out. I will answer your queries. It will help you out, but it will also help me and my team gather different questions that are coming commonly, and we can make a different video or a platform for that as well. So hopefully it will be good. It will be a great session. Now let's start. One of the reasons that many students face a problem in economics is because of the way we approach economics. We approach it with a very I'm very sorry to say this because I've done that as well in the start. We try to cram it. We try to memorize everything without knowing what we are memorizing. Look, memorizing and cramming are different. If you know what you are memorizing, it's a part of memorization. But if you are just repeating stuff and trying to capture the words and you don't know what that means, it's cramming and it's useless. So when you're studying economics, we need to focus on those basics that will help you understand all the concepts. The base of economics is built upon two very basic ideas, two simple words of English language, to be very honest. The first word is a need, and the second word is a want. Now I know it seems quite obnoxious to even say that. It seems quite, it seems unrealistic to say that economics is based on these ideas, but that's the truth. You need to know the basic difference. A need is something, please try to follow what I'm trying to say. Every word is important here. A need is something that you need, that you must have for survival. It is something that is required for your survival. It is something that is important for human survival. It is something without which you might not survive as a human. Now here's the important part. When I say it is required for survival, remember all the humans around the globe are much the same biologically. We have the same basic needs. In advanced economics, we might study a different concept, but at the starting level, all you need to know is economics needs are constant for human beings. Just try to grasp the idea currently. It is much the same for human beings around the globe, and they don't vary that much. The first need that we have is basic food. Now, I use the word basic food. It does not mean having 100 different courses at a certain meal. It means having enough food to nourish yourself. It means enough food to make sure that you survive. It does not mean having a special quality breakfast, eating out like for your lunch and having a high quality dinner at some restaurant in the evening. This is not need. Your need is just the basic part. Secondly, you need basic clothing to cover your private parts. The concept of private parts differ between different societies, different cultures, but the idea is that you have to cover your private parts. The third idea and the third basic need is that of basic shelter. It is a basic housing, a basic way of disconnecting yourself from the rest of the world for the purpose of shelter, for the purpose of safety, for the purpose of having a dwelling. But that's it. That's where needs end, for economics at least. Everything else that you wish to have, that you desire to have, that you want to have, that you might like to have, but they are not essential for your living, are wants. I know some people would question that. I know this is a common question that many people would ask. Sir, if a person is suffering from cancer and he needs chemotherapy, is that a need? Look, when we are studying economics from the top, we need to consider the basic needs. We won't look at individual cases at this point. We are looking at the basic needs of most human beings. So needs are basic shelter, basic housing, basic clothing, or basic food. Everything else is a want. Everything else is something that you would like to have, but it is not essential for your survival. Now let me give you an example. Let's take the three needs and turn them into wants. Basic shelter, need. I want a swimming pool in my house. Want. I can live without a swimming pool. I want my house to have a helipad. Want. I can live without it. Let's come to the next idea. Food. Basic food, need. But having 100 courses at each meal, that's a want. Maybe having biryani for lunch, want. Having, let's say, a pizza for dinner, want. I can live without that. So the third idea is that of clothing, basic clothing, need. But having a denim jeans, or maybe like, for example, having a branded clothes, a Burberry shirt, maybe if you're a woman, for example, maybe a purse from a different brand, a hand watch, a wristwatch, a bracelet, tops. These things are wants. You don't need them to live. I'm not preaching here. I'm not trying to preach you conservation here. I'm not trying to preach you like traditions here. I'm just trying to tell you what the difference between a need and a want is. So in economics, a need is something that you require for living, that you need to have to live, while a want is something that you would like to have, but without which you can survive, you won't die, without not having something would not kill you. Now naturally, just think about it, what I just said. Don't try to memorize this. Just try to think further about it. Try to grasp it in your imagination, what I'm trying to say. A thing that is a desire, it's nature's call, it's nature's thing, that a desire is bound to transform, it is bound to change, it is bound to develop with time. Let's think about it. When I was a child, when you were a child, you would require, when you were 2 or 3 years old, you would want to have a tricycle, because obviously you can't run a motorbike at that point. When you grew up, or you learned how to use a tricycle, you got bored with the tricycle, you started having a different want. You started transforming your want. You wanted to have a bicycle. Now you used a bicycle, your peer group used a bicycle, you enjoyed it. Then you came to the college and all your friends have this R1, Hayabusa, etc., and you want a motorbike now. It transformed again. Let's say in the future it might completely change to having a car. In the maybe 20 years from now, I would like to have a helicopter. So wants are things that change, develop, that transform in time. Now it means if I sit down today and try to write all the wants that I have, maybe, just maybe, they might be limited. Maybe that would be a list of 20 billion items, but that would be limited. But if I sit down all the humans today and all of them start to tell out their wants, that would be unlimited. Let me give you another example. Let me just clarify one thing. Let's say we count all the needs, all the wants that humans have today. The very next moment, the very moment after, the very hour after, the very day after, the very month after, every passing moment, those wants would change, those wants would develop, those wants would transform, which means that wants by its nature are unlimited. Human wants have no limits. They are infinite. However, we need products to satisfy those wants. Like, try to understand the different concepts that I'm telling you here. All these wants are materialistic. Having a house is a materialistic want. I'm not trying to degrade someone. I'm just trying to tell you what kind of want they are. They are not spiritual wants. They are materialistic wants. Having a house, having a swimming pool, having a car, having a jet. These are all materialistic wants, okay? These materialistic wants are fulfilled by products. They are fulfilled by either goods or services. Now, the word product, like I told you, there are some specific terms in economics that you need to know the exact meaning of. And here the exact meaning of the word product is either a good or service. So a good or service both come under the word product. And what a good is, and the difference between good and services is tangibility. A good is something that you can touch. It is tangible. A service is something that requires resources to make. It is not free. It does not come out of nowhere. But you can't touch it. You can't. It's not tangible. Like, let me ask you a question. What is banking? Can you touch banking? Can you touch insurance? Can you touch tourism? Can you touch, let's say, wholesaling? Can you touch retailing? No, you can't. But excuse me, you can't touch these things. But remember, these things exist. These are services. These are intangible products. So wants are satisfied by products, right? What helps to make these products? Products are made by 4 different components. And in economics, we have these basic components. In the next video, I will try to summarize the meaning, the ideas, the definition, the whole concept of these words. For now, just know the 4 words: land, labor, capital, enterprise. These are the economic resources that are used to make products, that are used to make goods, that are used to make services, that are used to make something that satisfy the wants of people. We will need land, we will need labor, we will need capital, we will need enterprise. I am telling you again, these words have different meanings. Land does not mean land alone, but still, just for the sake of discussion, in the next video, I will cover what these are. For the sake of discussion, land, labor, capital, enterprise, these together produce products, goods and services that are required to satisfy human wants. Products satisfy human wants, right? All these things, land, labor, capital, enterprise, are limited. We don't have an unlimited amount of land. We don't have an unlimited amount of natural resources. We don't have an unlimited amount of labor. We don't have an unlimited amount of capital. Here, capital does not mean the monetary capital alone. We will discuss it later. We don't have an unlimited amount of people or organizations who are taking the decisions or making the risks to make sure that products are produced or enterprise. What does that mean? That means that the economic resources that are required to produce goods and services that satisfy human wants are limited. Wants unlimited, economic resources to make products to satisfy those wants limited. And this will always be the situation because resources will always decrease overall, but they might decrease individually somewhat, but overall resources decrease with time. We use them up. And they are already limited, by the way. And wants that are unlimited, that continue to grow, they continue to develop, they continue to transform. More humans are born, more wants. Humans die, even there, then they are wants. We want to bury them in special place, etc. So wants develop, grow with time. This situation of unlimited wants exceeding scarce or minimalist, or not minimalist, scarce or limited resources is called scarcity. Now here's a common question, and I will end the video on that question. We will continue in the next video. What is the difference between economic problem and scarcity? Let's put it this way. Economic problem is the continued existence of scarcity. You cannot eliminate scarcity. It's impossible. You can never get into a situation where wants would be unlimited. Wants would be limited, and and the factors of production or the resources of production or the resources that are used to make the goods and services that satisfy those wants would be unlimited. This situation will never happen. It would never happen that wants become limited. It would never happen that your resources of production, your economic resources, they become unlimited. That will never happen. It will always be the other way around. Wants would be unlimited, resources would be limited. So scarcity is everlasting. Why? I told you, wants grow, resources decrease. So it's a widening gap, or at least it's a balanced gap. It will never overturn the situation. So scarcity is this situation of wants exceeding scarce resources. Economic problem is the continued existence of scarcity. The fact that scarcity can never be removed from our society is the fact that scarcity can never end. The fact that scarcity will always continue to be there. And this gives rise to the idea of opportunity cost, the idea of choice, and etc. We will continue these concepts in the next video. I hope you like the content. I have really put a lot of effort to make sure that it's easy to understand. And if it's good, we will make sure that we can make a series on all the subjects that exist, hopefully, or at least all the subjects that I know I can teach. And we will make it easier for all of you. Hopefully it's good enough, it's helpful. Do share the video. Thank you very much.